What is up, my internet friends and family? I'm charmx, and today I'm going to be reacting to 10 famous celebrities who ruined their careers by top trending. Now, top trending make great videos, so make sure you go subscribe to them. And yeah, with that being said, hopefully this is going to be pretty interesting. The original link's in the description. And with that being said, let's begin. I heard of the guy wearing the bag on his head. I don't know his name though.
In 2004, Ashlee Simpson was riding high on the strong sales of her debut album, Autobiography. Her older sister, Jessica, who also had a music career as well as a hit reality TV series, was much more visible in the media. But Ashlee's brand of thoughtful, introspective pop helped push Autobiography to sales of 400,000 units in just its first week. And then in one stunningly awkward moment before an audience of millions on national TV, it all fell apart. Ashlee was the musical guest on the October 23, 2004 episode of Saturday Night Live, and she was using piped-in, pre-recorded vocal tracks.
I knew it. I friggin' knew it. The cause for most singers losing their careers, I would say, is probably lip syncing and getting caught for doing it.
Over her live band. Her first song went off without a hitch, but the wrong vocal track was briefly played for the second track, confusing Ashlee, the band, and the audience. Ashlee danced a brief jig before exiting the stage and stepping into the giant torrent of negative publicity. Her actions following the disaster didn't help. She blamed everything from her band to acid reflux for the incident, and
acid reflux? They played a different song than what she was expecting. How was acid reflux, to be at fault? That is a stupid excuse.
Was booed by the crowd at the 2005 Orange Bowl after her off-key performance of her song La La. Even though a return to Saturday Night Live the following year went much better, her career never recovered. Two later albums sold poorly and got weak reviews, and she has since almost entirely faded from the public eye.
Now what she needs to do is do some crazy shit, and that'll put her back in the public eye. Because I know some people, like Justin Bieber, he's always in the public eye. Maybe not for the right reasons, but he was in the public eye for spitting on his fans and shit like that. So that's how you get publicity if you need it. That's definitely not the way to go about doing it. But if you're that desperate for attention, I guess you could go and do something stupid like that. Oh, I used to love CeeLo Green.
Ex-rapper and new school R&B singer CeeLo Green became a huge media presence shortly after his collaboration with DJ and producer Danger Mouse. Their release under the name Gnarls Barkley produced the worldwide hit single Crazy and launched CeeLo to international stardom, earning him a judging spot on reality singing competition The Voice and his own TBS series The Good Life. But in 2014, his career came crashing to a halt when he pleaded no contest to a felony count of furnishing a controlled substance, the club drug ecstasy, to a woman who later woke up naked at his hotel with no memory of the evening. To make matters worse, he then unleashed a series of tweets that seemed to imply that rape was not possible if the victim was unconscious, saying if someone has...
What? I think when the victim's unconscious, it's most likely possible.
Passed out, they're not even with you consciously. And people who have really been raped remember. His TBS series was immediately canceled, and he was also let go from The Voice, though he has since returned. While he may have been able to keep from completely destroying his career, his profile is certainly not as high as before, and his public image may never recover.
I was not aware of that shit. Yeah, Iggy Azalea. Iggy Azalea. I knew she had faded away from stardom because after she was caught, rapping, which wasn't really rapping, she was doing that one to the pow pow boom, whatever, like that became a meme, and she got fucked over in her career from it. As soon as that became a meme, I would say that, her career took a nosedive.
In 2014, Iggy Azalea had one of the hottest careers in rap. Her debut album, The New Classic, became the first by a female solo rap artist to top the Billboard chart, and its single Fancy also topped the singles chart for 7 weeks. But just as her career was poised to really take off, Iggy began using Twitter to cause as much damage to it as she could. She began beefing with more established artists such as Nicki Minaj and Azalea Banks, which was seen by many as a way to boost her fame. It also had the unfortunate effect of putting Iggy into the middle of the national conversation about appropriation of black culture by white artists, which Iggy did not handle well. When legendary A Tribe Called Quest rapper Q-Tip took to Twitter to offer his respectful and informed views on the situation, Iggy responded by tweeting that nobody was forcing Q-Tip to support her style of music, which completely missed his point, and that his opinion just didn't matter to her. More beefs, embarrassing public incidents, and racially insensitive comments only added fuel to the fire. She was dropped from her label by protege T.I. in 2015, and her once red-hot career is stalled.
I guess I was wrong, because I thought it really had to do with that meme with her, like, rapping, because she can't rap, really. So, I guess it had nothing to do with that, which is surprising. I've never even heard of this person.
In the late 1990s, the four stars of the popular sitcom Seinfeld were the highest paid actors on television. When the show ended in 1998, all four had trouble finding similar success. Michael Richards, who played wacky neighbor Cosmo Kramer, tried and failed to launch his own sitcom, The Michael Richards Show, but it lasted only a few episodes. And Richards was making his living on the stand-up comedy circuit when disaster struck in 2006. Richards responded to a comment from a black audience member in a racially charged fashion, and making further remarks that referenced lynching and the Jim Crow era of racial segregation. Video of the rant taken by someone else in the audience quickly went viral, and Richards was the subject of an intense media backlash overnight. An awkward apology on David Letterman's
That's pretty freaking crazy.
Late Show with Jerry Seinfeld by his side did nothing to help, and Richards' job prospects vanished. His work since the incident has been limited to cameos, guest appearances, and some voice work. His only starring role was in the 2013 TV Land sitcom Kirstie, which was canceled after 12 episodes.
I was not aware of his career. Like, I've seen Seinfeld, and I didn't really like it that much, so I never really got into it. But I was aware of, you know, the wacky neighbor, which I didn't even know that was his name. But it seems like he just fucked over himself. I mean, I guess he's racist and a whole bunch of other shit, and that's really what destroyed him. Rob Pilatus?
Hip-hop R&B duo Milli Vanilli had one of the best-selling albums of 1989. Their smash debut, Girl You Know It's True. The album produced 3 #1 singles and 2 more in the top 5, and made Fab Morvan and Rob Pilatus international stars. In 1990, they were given the Grammy Award for Best New Artist, but this win was the beginning of the end of Milli Vanilli. In mid-1990, singer Charles Shaw came forward to claim that he was one of the actual vocalists on Milli Vanilli's album, and that Fab and Rob had not sang on the record at all. Rumors swirled until November 1990, when producer Frank Farian admitted that the pair were imposters and had been recruited only to act as an attractive front for the work of others. 4 days after this announcement, the group were forced to return their Grammy. Various attempts to record new music with their actual voices failed to interest the public, and
yeah, no shit, because, I mean, they were known for having different voices.
Rob Pilatus turned to drugs and petty robberies as the group's star faded.
Drugs and petty robberies? I mean, you must have made some okay money, you know, to be in the position that you were in. Why didn't you go and invest it by, like, starting a business or something? I guess he went and, like, blew it and then started robbing places.
1998, on the eve of a promotional tour for a new album, Pilatus was found dead of an overdose of prescription drugs and alcohol in a hotel room in Germany.
That's freaking crazy. Charlie Sheen, didn't he have his own show? Like, he was on, was it 2.5 Men? And then there was, like, a huge issue. I don't remember what it was, but he ended up, like, getting kicked off it. But I know, like, now, isn't he, like, a therapist on some show? Anger Management, that's what the show is called. How did his career fall off? I mean, I know it's had its blunders, but...
The CBS sitcom 2.5 Men was among the most popular shows on television for all of its 12-season run. For 8 of those seasons, Charlie Sheen portrayed Charlie Harper, a reluctant family man based largely on Sheen's own bad boy image.
I spilled water everywhere. Now it looks like I pissed myself.
He earned multiple Emmy and Golden Globe nominations for his role, and at the time the trouble began was the highest paid actor on TV. But between February 2010 and January 2011, Sheen checked into rehab 3 separate times, causing the show's production to go on hiatus twice. He became widely known at this time for making bizarre public statements, introducing the phrases tiger blood and winning to pop culture, but crossed the line in an interview on The Alex Jones Show, in which he made anti-Semitic and somewhat threatening remarks about 2.5 Men producer Chuck Lorre, who is Jewish. In response, CBS pulled the plug on the remainder of 2.5 Men's 8th season, leaving 8 episodes unproduced. Sheen's contract was terminated and he was replaced for the rest of the show's run by Ashton Kutcher. While Sheen's career is currently non-existent and he has cooled down on his bad public behavior in recent years, the final episode of the sitcom, in which a Sheen lookalike has a piano dropped on his head, caused a new round of terrible remarks, with Charlie saying that Chuck Lorre must feel safe where he lives, and that he doesn't care whether Lorre lives or dies.
Okay, just give me a second here. Okay, so I'm here on Google, and I've searched up Anger Management because that's the show that he was on after. And basically, the first episode of Anger Management aired on June 28th of 2012, which seems like it was like right after he left Two and a Half Men, or around that time. And the final episode was on December 22nd, 2014. So he was on another show for 2 years, and the show is rated. It's rated all right, so it's not like the show was a huge flop. So you could say that his career vanished, but as you can see from Anger Management, he did go on to do other things. And if he was smart with his money, he would have invested it and probably doing fine. Hulk Hogan? Is this after the sex tape?
Hulk Hogan had been a fixture in the world of professional wrestling and pop culture in general since the 1980s. His reality series Hogan Knows Best was among the highest rated in the genre, and his wrestling contracts alone made him a millionaire many times over. But a 2014 viral video showed a side of the Hulkster that most fans wish they had never seen. In it, he complains bitterly about the fact that his daughter Brooke is dating a black man, dropping N-words left and right.
I was not aware of that. I thought it was going to be the sex tape that was released like a couple years ago. Or maybe was that last year? I don't remember.
Hulk wishes that at least she had picked a rich black man, like a basketball player, and concludes with the words, "I guess we're all a little racist." The rant caused World Wrestling Entertainment to not only terminate his contract, but to scrub any mention of him from its website. Hogan released a pleading apology to the media, but the damage was done. Adding to the demise of Hogan's career was a leaked 2012 sex tape, in which his partner was...
2012? I thought it was like maybe 2 years ago or a year ago that was released. 2012 is a long time ago.
Someone other than his wife. The tape would lead to his divorce and a lawsuit against website Gawker, in which Hogan stated that his legacy in entertainment had been severely damaged, if not destroyed, as a result of the leak, and that his global brand was forever tarnished.
I would say that although that sex tape did not help your career, I think the other tape where you were like, you know, being like, I guess racist against your daughter's boyfriend, I think that probably did a lot more damage than the sex tape. Oh, this is, I remember this whole scandal.
Tiger Woods was consistently ranked among the top golfers in the world for over a decade. He also benefited from a squeaky clean public image, which allowed him to take on a massive number of product endorsements, making him one of the highest paid athletes in the world. But this image took a bizarre turn for the worse on Thanksgiving night in 2009, when a domestic dispute between Woods and his wife, model Ellen Nordegren, got crazily out of hand. The day before, tabloid magazine The National Enquirer had run a story, complete with photos, on Tiger's months-long affair with nightclub hostess Rachel Uchitel.
Yeah,
Tiger had been forced to confirm his cheating to his wife, and the night had ended with Nordegren smashing out the back window of Tiger's SUV with a golf club. The story quickly went viral, but the trouble was only starting. More women began coming forward, and by 2 weeks after the Thanksgiving incident, it was reported that Woods may have had as many as 14 mistresses.
What? I knew that, you know, his career went downhill after he was caught cheating. I was not aware it was with that many people.
He quickly lost all of his major endorsements, dropped out of an upcoming tournament, and checked into rehab for sex addiction. Tiger's game seems to have completely left him since the scandal. While he still collects on a few endorsements, he has not won a major tournament since, and Ellen left him in 2010. In the 2010 NFL Draft, the New England Patriots selected 2 tight ends on consecutive days. The first, Rob Gronkowski, would go on to all-star success and championships, but the second, Aaron Hernandez, would extinguish his promising career by participating in some horrifying crimes. After 2 productive seasons, Hernandez was given a 5-year contract extension in 2012, one that featured the largest signing bonus, $12.5 million, ever given to a tight end.
Wow.
But in July of that same year, 2 men were killed in Boston when shots were fired into their car. Hernandez would eventually be charged with the crime, but he continued to play.
He killed them?
Play for the Patriots while under investigation. Then in June 2013, a friend of Aaron's named Odin Lloyd was shot and killed in an industrial park less than a mile from the tight end's home. Hernandez quickly fell under suspicion, with the Patriots barring him from their facilities, and he was arrested less than a week after the murder. At trial, Hernandez and 2 accomplices were found responsible for the death, although Hernandez himself never admitted to pulling the trigger. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
That's pretty crazy. Why would you go and do something like that when you have such a promising career ahead of you? Was it $12.5 million he signed for, and then, you know, like, not that long after he goes and gets, like, people killed? Doesn't make any sense.
The downfall of American icon O.J. Simpson began on June 12, 1994, when his wife Nicole Brown Simpson and her friend Ronald Goldman were found stabbed to death outside Nicole's home. The shocking crime captured the imagination of the public due to the involvement of the star NFL running back and beloved TV and film personality. O.J. famously led Los Angeles police on a bizarre low-speed chase in his white Ford Bronco before eventually turning himself in, an event tuned into by millions on live television. O.J.'s contracts evaporated over.
That makes no sense. When everyone knows you're in the car and that it's your car, why are you going on like a police chase? Everyone knows who you are. You know, if you're on a police chase, it looks more suspicious.
Night, and he was put on trial for the brutal double murder in what was called the trial of the century. Although he was not found guilty, a decision which divided the public, he was later found liable for the deaths at a civil trial and ordered to pay over $33 million to the family of Ronald Goldman. But O.J.'s problems didn't end there. In 2008, he was convicted of multiple felony charges, stemming from an incident in which he and several other men threatened a Las Vegas sports memorabilia collector with weapons. He was sentenced to 33 years in prison, but was granted partial parole on some of the charges. He may be released as soon as 2017, but he's not likely to find many career prospects on the outside.
A lot of these people made some really big mistakes. Actually, all of them did. All of them made huge mistakes, which ended to the end of their career. What the fuck is this? What the fuck? But anyway, I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up, possibly share it with a friend. If you're new, subscribe and join the family today, and I'll see you guys next time. Boop!